Welcome to the video lecture. Myself Ashwini RK, Assistant Professor, Civil Department, Rogani College of Engineering and Technology. So today we are going to see about the stabilization of the tracks. So first of all, the earthwork. Usual forms of cross-section. Naturally occurring soil is known as a subgrade. When it is prepared to receive the ballast and track, it is called as the formation. When the formation is raised on the bank of the earth, it is called as embankment. When it is made after cutting the ground below the ground level, it is called as cutting. Features of railroad bed level. When the formation is to be in embankment or cutting, the following features should be carefully considered. Width of the formation. It depends on the number of track, gauge of track, center to center distance between the track, width of the ballast layer, width of the trenches to drain of rainwater, slopes of the drain. Stability of earthwork depends on the cohesion and friction. Cohesion is useful for temporary stability, but permanent stability is achieved only by friction. Hence, the slope to be provided to the sides of the formation should be slightly flatter than the angle of repose of the material. Drains. Accumulation of water reduces the friction in all sorts of the soil. Hence, it is very important to construct suitable drains to take out the rainwater and make the earthwork stable. In case of embankment, the rainwater is easily drained off, but in case of cuttings, the drains are to be provided. Side drains are constructed along the track at a depth of 1200 mm from the rail level. Suitable gradients is to be provided these drains, and these are maintained in such a way that they remain clear of any obstruction. Methods of construction. In India, embankments are generally constructed by digging pits along the track known as borrow pits. In other countries, the required earth is brought from the cuttings or from other places. Loose earth is then spread layer of about 300 mm height and well consolidated. Sufficient allowance is made for the shrinkage of the material. Usual allowance is about 167 millimeter from 1 meter height of the embankment. Stabilization of the track on poor soil. Sometimes it becomes unavoidable to lay the track on very poor soil having improper drainage facility. In such cases, it has become essential to improve the nature of the soil by some suitable methods. Choice of method will depend on the climatic condition of the country and loads to be carried out by the soil. Methods of stabilization of the track on poor soil. Layer or blanket of muram or sand, cement grouting, sand piles, use of chemical, providing capillary break or cut off. Layer or blanket of muram or sand. In a very poor soil, such as black cotton soil, which swells or shrinks considerably by contact with moisture and less loss of moisture to extent of 20% to 30% of its volume. A layer of muram or sand is provided just under the ballast. Thickness of this layer varies from 300 mm to 600 mm. This layer distributes the pressure and it also prevents the ballast from being lost in cracks of the soil. Instead of muram, other materials like ashes, slabs of concrete, unserviceable sleepers can be used. Cement grouting. In this method, steel tubes about 30 mm diameter are driven into the formation at every alternate sleeper. They are driven near the ends of the sleepers. Steel tubes are generally 1500 mm long and driven at angle so that the end of the tube is nearly under the rail. Then the cement grout is forced under a pressure of about 0.7 Newton per meter mm square through the tubes. The cement grout spreads through this poor soil and consolidates. The steel tubes are gradually taken out. Sand piles. In this method, a vertical bore of about 300 mm diameter made in the ground by driving vertical wooden pile. The wooden pile is then withdrawn and the space is filled with sand and is well ramped. The piles are driven in a pattern. Functions of sand piles. They can function as a timber pile. They provide an arrangement of vertical drainage. They provide good mechanical support. Use of chemicals. In this method, the chemicals are used in place of cement grout to consolidate the soil. The silicate of soda followed by calcium chloride is effective for sandy soil containing less 25% of clay and silt. Thank you.